Will Trump tariffs cause a global recession? Liberation Day proved to be catastrophic for stock markets around the world. Investors are understandably concerned that the Trump tariffs will push the US and perhaps even the global economy into recession. What's really hard to fathom is that this shock was completely self-inflicted. Prior to the tariffs, the US economy was in good health, as last week's labour market data showed. A gradual slowdown was underway and the correction in the tech sector was weighing on the stock market, but the typical signs that a recession is around the corner were not evident. For example, household and corporate balance sheets were in good shape and profits remained robust. It's probably fair to assume that Trump went in hard as his opening shot, and in time many of these tariffs will be reduced. However, significant tariffs are likely to remain in place for many countries. The damage to global growth from the hit to trade and the continuing uncertainty is likely to be significant. For the US economy, the damage is likely to be particularly severe. US import costs will rise, which will either dampen corporate profits or hit real household incomes, or both. To make matters worse, the dollar has weakened, raising import prices further. There are some positives that can be drawn though. US aggression has brought the rest of the world together to some extent. Trade talks, for example, are already underway between China and Europe. In addition, policymakers in China and Germany seem to be serious about significantly boosting domestic demand in their own countries. In the past, US recessions have tended to spread to the rest of the world, but if Germany and China can become less reliant on the US consumer, this time might be different. Another positive development was a sharp drop in the oil price following OPEC's surprise decision to increase output. This helps explain why inflation expectations fell so sharply last week and bonds performed so well. Looking ahead to events this week, EU trade ministers will try to form a response to Trump tariffs, and Keir Starmer in the UK is still trying to negotiate a trade deal with the US. It's a relatively light week for economic data, with the highlights being US March inflation and February GDP from the UK. Quarterly earnings are expected from a range of US banks, Shell and Tesco. Thank you for listening.
This video is not a recommendation or personal financial advice. With investing, your capital is at risk. Investments can fluctuate in value and you may get back less than you invest.